Hi students, today we'll discuss various programs on matrices. First I'll take a program to do the sum and multiplication of elements of a matrix. All of you just concentrate here. I am taking the elements of a single matrix now. Okay, so for example, if I assume some like elements of a matrix as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now our program has to do the addition of the elements of the matrix 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let me write a program for this. So as yesterday we people have seen that the first thing is we should read the array elements. Before that we should ask the user to enter the order of the matrix. For that I will be declaring in a two-dimensional array, that is A of 10 10. Okay, in the sense it can take maximum 10 rows and 10 columns. And next to that is I will be taking some like a control variable I and j, and I will be taking R and C to represent rows and columns of the matrix respectively. Okay, so first what I should ask to the user. So I will be asking the user as enter the order of a matrix. What is the meaning of entering the order of the matrix? In the sense we should ask the user how many rows and columns they will be willing to have. So for that we know that the standard input function is scanf. So I will take the standard scanf function and I will be writing the input function. So by this we got the now the order of the matrix, that is number of rows and columns. Next to that is these many elements has to be entered. That's why I will be asking the user as enter the elements of a matrix. Okay, so for that what to do? Directly I can't enter the elements of the matrix. As yesterday we people have seen that say I need to read it from 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. In the sense obviously I should take any of the loop, and already we have seen that as there are number of rows and columns, for every row all the column elements has to be read. For every row all the column elements, in the sense definitely I should go for nested loops. That's why here I will be taking nested for loop for I is equal to 0, I less than r, I plus plus. Why I have taken I less than r? In the sense for the read number of rows elements has to be taken. Now for every row all column elements, that's why I will be taking j is equal to 0, j less than c, j plus plus. Okay, and next to that is what? For every row all column elements. Definitely I can do this as %d ampersand a of ij. This logic already yesterday I have told you. Once again I will not repeat the same thing. See, just as a summary I am telling, it will be reading the elements as initially I will be 0, it will come inside because here order is 2. Okay, so 0 is less than 2, it is true, it will come inside, it will read j is equal to 0, it will read the first element 0 0, j will be get incremented, it will become 1, 1 is less than 2, yes it is true, again it will read the next element, that is 0 1, j plus plus, it will become 2, 2 is less than 2, false, so it will go for I plus plus, the rest elements will be get read. So if this you want to go for this particular logic how we have read, just refer the video of arrays in C. Okay, that is uploaded on 1/5/2020. Okay, now yes, successfully I read all the elements. Assume that I read 1 2 3 4. This is the matrix, these are the elements of the matrix. Next I have to compute the addition of these elements of the matrix. What must be the addition? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. See, build the logic first. Instead of directly writing the code, I would like to build the logic. See, what is the order? 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. I have to first fetch 1. that is the element which is present at the indices 0 0 has to be fetched first. It should be added to 2, so the addition will be 3. This 3 should be added to 3, in the sense next it should be added to the element of 1 0, and next to that, next it should be added to 3, and next it should be added to 4. Then what is the logic here? I should do the addition of the elements of the matrix as with the sequential of its order, that is 0 0 0 1, one row is completed, next we should go for the second row, like that we have to do. Again it is the same logic. First row should be get fetched. For the first row all the column elements should be fetched, next row so on up to n minus 1. So what to do for that? Again I will be writing the same loop, that is for I is equal to 0, I less than r, I plus plus. Next to that is for j is equal to 0, j less than c, j plus plus. And now it is very important now. See, already we know how to compute the sum of n elements. So we know that I will be taking the initial sum as 0, that I will be taking sum plus a of ij. Already in one dimensional array we have discussed this particular program, how to find the sum of the elements in a matrix, but there we have taken linear elements, here I am taking the matrix element, that is the only difference. So let me trace this particular thing now. So successfully I have got a sum here. Let me trace how exactly it works. Okay, I is equal to 0, 0 less than 1. Okay, 0 less than 1. I am extremely sorry, number of rows is 2. See, with this respect to this particular example, R is equal to 2 and C is equal to 2. Okay, 0 is less than 2. True or false? As it is true, it will come inside. So as it comes inside, the next statement is j is equal to 0, 0 less than 2, y less than 2, again the number, the order of the column is 2. Okay, so both are true, it will come inside. Sum is equal to sum plus a of ij. What is the value of I? 0. What is the value of j? 0. Okay, what is stored in the memory? A of 0 0, 1 is stored. See, it is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. In the memory it will be stored like this. Okay, so 1 is stored, so successfully the element a of 0 0 is 1, the 1 is fetched. So initial sum must be 0. Now add it. That's why many times I used to tell you, don't write everything from the scratch from the main itself. It is just as like of mug up if you do so. As the requirement comes, you go on adding the variable. Sum is equal to 0. Why I did sum is equal to 0? Again, don't remember always sum is equal to 0. If I add 0 to any of the value, nothing is going to change. That's why initially to add 0, I have taken it as 0. 0 plus 1, it will be 1 now. So where the control has to go now? J plus plus, because still the condition is true. Now the value of j will be 1. 1 less than 2. True or false? As it is true. As it is true, it will come inside. It is very important to understand now. Okay, the formula is same formula. Sum is equal to sum plus. What is the recently updated value of sum? It was 1. In the previous iteration, it was 1. So I have to consider now in the second iteration sum as 1. 1 plus a of ij. What is the present value of I? It is 0. What is the updated value of j? It is 1. So it is nothing but a of 0 1. So what is stored in the memory? A of 0 1 2 is stored. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Next, j plus plus 2. 2 less than 2, false. We know that in nested loops, once the inner condition become false, definitely it should go for the update condition of the outer loop. Either it is a for loop or while loop, anything. So what it is? I plus plus, it will become 1. 1 less than 2, true or false? As it is true. As it is true, it will come inside. In the sense for the inner for loop, we know that for every new value of the outer for loop, all the values of the inner for loop executes. That is nothing but again j is equal to 0. The same cycle repeats now. That is 0 less than 2. Yes, it is true. Next. Okay, so sum is equal to sum plus a of ij. That is the next third iteration. What was the previous sum? This is 3. A of ij. What is the present value of I? It is 1. What is the present value of j? That is 0. Okay, that is nothing but a of 1 0. What is stored in a of 1 0? That is 3. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. Next again j plus plus, it will become what? Now 1. Okay, 1 less than 2, true or false? Yes, obviously it is true. As it is true, it will come inside. Sum is equal to sum plus a of ij. I value is 1 and j value is 1. What is stored in a of 1 1? That is 4. Yes, 4 is fetched. Sum is equal to, this is fourth iteration. Sum is equal to sum plus 0. What was the recently updated value of sum? 6. 6 plus 4, that is 10. J plus plus, it will become 2. 2 less than 2, true or false? Yeah, it is false. As it is false, it will go for I plus plus. Whether it is true or false? False. As all are false, it will come out of the for loop. Next, a programmer has to take the decision what to do next. Yes, successfully I have computed the sum. So whether the program ends? No. I have to print that particular sum. So let me print that particular sum. That is printf sum of elements of a matrix is percentage d. That is sum. Complete the program. You may question me, madam, how to do the multiplication. I don't want to repeat the same sort of code. What is the only change? The only change here is, instead of writing the formula sum is equal to sum plus a of ij, we have to think what must be the formula. See, sequentially in this logic, one by one I am fetching the elements of the matrix. That is the main logic here. The only change is formula. What is that only change formula is? This formula must be replaced with mult is equal to mult into a of ij. Don't again remember the formula. Try to understand why I have formed this particular formula. Okay, we know that initially I should have some value for a mult. Yeah, what must be the initial value? It should be 1. Why it should be 1? We know that if I multiply 1 with any number, the value is never going to change. That's why you initialize int mult is equal to 1. Okay, and next you do mult is equal to mult into a of ij, 1 into a of ij, the initial value, the same tracing. So after sum is equal to sum plus a of ij, you put mult is equal to mult into a of ij, and you print mult also. Okay, so let me move to the next program. Okay. Dear students, now we'll discuss the next program, that is a program to find the transpose of a given matrix. So first understand what is a transpose of a given matrix. Let me take an example for that. See, for example, if I assume a particular like a matrix 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, how many rows are there in this particular example? 2 rows. How many columns are there? 3 columns. What is the meaning of transpose? Transpose is nothing but the particular elements will be migrated from row to column. Column to row, in the sense number of rows will be after the transpose, the number of rows will be 3 and the columns will be 2. That is nothing but 1 4 2 5 3 6, in the sense this particular element which is there as a first column, that will become the first row, like that till n minus 1 order. So this is the actual matrix now, and this is the transpose of this particular matrix. Then we have to build the logic for this first. How to do? The very simple thing is, first I should ask the user to read the R and C, that is the number of rows and number of columns. So this is the common sense to us actually. See, for example, assume R is 2 and C is 3. And I should first interchange it. In the logic, I should make R is equal to 3 and C is equal to 2. Agree with me this particular, with respect to this particular example, you agree with me, the number of rows are 3 and columns are 2. This is the first logic. And next to that is, whenever we are printing the elements, we need to take the particular order of the elements in such a way that the element will be fetched from the column order here. While reading we will be fetching from the row order. While printing we should print it in the terms of a column order. In the sense, the outer for loop should be taken with respect to number of columns and the inner for loop we should take with respect to number of rows. What is the meaning of it? That is nothing but just I am making the particular first column as the first row. Okay, so the same thing. Now let me explain with respect to the program. So that hash include everything, just you assume it is there, and these all thing I need to have a control variable I and j, the number of rows, number of columns, and one particular array element for the two-dimensional matrices. These all things will be there. And next to that is, in short, I will be writing as a printf, enter the order of the matrix. See, meanwhile you start writing the program. Meanwhile, while watching the video itself, initial things, at least reading and writing, all those things you have to do. Okay. Ampersand R and ampersand C. Next, what to do? I should ask the user to enter the array elements. Enter the elements of the matrix. Okay, next, so what to do to enter the elements of the matrix? Already many times from yesterday itself we people are taking this particular logic, that is we should take for every row all the column elements. That's why I'll be taking the nested loop. Which is the nested loop I am using the nested for loop. This is all we have discussed. That's why I'm writing directly. See, these are the particular lines of the code just to read the matrix element. My suggestion here is, instead of directly writing a code for transpose, better you print the original matrix. That is systematic. Anything you are changing in the matrix and the changed part you are displaying in the program, better to display the original matrix, then only the output will be systematic. So what to do? See, this code is for what? Reading the elements of the matrix. So for printing the elements of the matrix, what to do? What is the meaning of this? Just to try to understand. Let me take the particular example, the same example now. See, what are the elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is nothing but 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. Original matrix it is. Next to that is 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. In the memory it will be stored like this. What is the meaning of this? 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. Agree with me or not? So this is now. In the memory it will be stored in the index form. Next to that is, it is very important to understand, I want to display the same matrix now. Before changing into transpose of a matrix, I want to display the same thing. What to do for displaying the same thing? With respect to number of rows and number of columns, I have to fetch the elements with the printf statement. So obviously you agree that the for loop remains same. Yes or no? This is a common sum. That's why I'll be keeping as for I is equal to 0, I less than R, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than c. Understood why I have taken the same loop? Because I am fetching the same order. I am printing the original matrix before making a transpose. Okay, so next printf. See, instead of scanf, I am taking printf. That is percentage d a of ij. Just think, only with this whether I get the output in a matrix form. In the sense the original these elements will be displayed in a matrix form? No. See, between the every element space has to be maintained. What I have to take for that? /t. Okay, after the end of every row, I should get a new line. That's why after the completion of the inner for loop, before closing the outer for loop, I have to take a new line. Yes or no? Agree with me or not? Okay, so this is called as a formatting the output. Yes, I have successfully printed the original matrix. Now the very important thing is to write a logic for a transpose of a matrix. For I is equal to 0. Just think what I have to take now. I have to make the number of rows as nothing but the number of columns. That's why I'll take a less than C. Next to that is I plus plus. Next to that, for j is equal to 0, j less than r, j plus plus. Why you understood? That is just to make the reverse of number of rows and columns of the, because in transpose it will be reverse. So what to do now? Just you print them. Print f %d a of ji. Why ji? Because just now I have told you that first I need to fetch in terms of columns. That's why. Okay, so again complete the program. Let me trace this particular thing now. Let me trace this. Okay, to trace this better, I'll take a original matrix now. What is the original matrix? That is 1 2 3 4 5 6. 0 0 0 1 0 2 1 0 1 1 1 2. Okay, see, I is equal to 0. Yes, it starts with 0. I less than C, in the sense instead of having only 2 rows in the transpose, how many rows I should have? I should have 3 rows. That's why I am making I less than C. See here, that is nothing but 1 4 2 5 3 6. This is a transpose of the matrix, that is we used to write empty. Okay, so yes, we have 3 rows. Yes. Okay, for a particular every row I should fetch all the column elements. That's why I am making again for the inner like a for loop j less than r. Okay, next print f. See, maintain the order 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 2 0 2 1. Okay, now see, this has to be matched now. %d ampersand j of I. Initially, what is the value of I? 0 less than, what is the value of C I am having? What is the value of C? The value of C is nothing but 3. Okay, so 0 less than 3, true or false? Yes, it is true. It will come inside. J is equal to 0. 0 less than, what is the value of R? 2. Okay, 0 less than 2, true or false? Yes, it is true. It will come inside. Okay, that is A of Ji. That is A of 0 0. Yes, 0 0 is fetched. Okay, next J plus plus. Okay, what it will be? 1. Okay, next 1 less than 2, true or false? Yes, it is true. As it is true, it will come inside. Okay, A of 1 0. Try to understand. See, A of 1 0. See how successfully I am fetching this element. Already I have fetched 1 and this should be fetched at this particular position. See, successfully I fetched 4. Next again J plus plus, it will become 2. 2 less than 2, true or false? Yes, it is false. As it is false, it will come for I plus plus. I will become 1. 1 less than 3, true or false? Yes, it is true. As it is true, it will come inside. Again, for every new value of outer for loop, all the values of J execute. What are all the values? That is nothing but 0 and 1. So what has to be, what is the next element to be fetched now? Okay, so that is j is 0 and I is 1. See, a of j1. What is a of j1? J is 0 and I is 1, that is 2. Yes, 2 is fetched. Next, j plus plus, it will become 1. A of 1 1. What is a of 1 1? That is 5. Yes, 5 is fetched. J plus plus, it will become 2. 2 is less than 2, false. Next, I will be incremented 2. 2 is less than 3. True or false? Yes, it is true. It will come inside. Again, all the values are considered. That is nothing but 0 and 1. So, what is to be considered now? A of ji. What is the present value of j0? A of 0 2. What is there in a of 0 2? That is 3. See, 3 successfully fetched. A of 1 2, that is 6 will be fetched. Yes, the transpose is done successfully. I hope you people have understood this particular program. So the next program we consider is that is to print the principal diagonal elements of a matrix. Many times either the transpose of a matrix or principal diagonal elements, minimum in examination you will get it for 5 to 6 marks. Most of the times either of the two programs is asked. Okay, so let me write the same now. Okay, see, these all are fundamentals. We need to declare a two-dimensional array and the number of rows, number of columns, the control variables. Okay, these all things are necessary. Just write up this. Okay, now the thing is, I think these all you understood. Can you just write a code for reading the elements of the matrix? Already many times, I think 4 times I have repeated the same thing, reading the elements of the matrix. Just I'll tell in a stretch. We should ask the user to enter the elements of a matrix. That is nothing but scanf, %d, ampersand r, ampersand c. So the respective elements must be asked to the user. That is nothing but by taking the nested for loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than r, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than c, j plus plus. Scanf, %d, ampersand of a of ij. In the sense we read the elements of the matrix. Next to that is assume that I read the elements of the matrix as, and one important thing you should know here, whenever we are printing the principal diagonal elements, better you need to assume the particular matrix with the same row and same number of columns. In the sense, the order of the matrix must be same with respect to rows and columns. That's why assume I have already read all the whatever the basic things, number of rows and columns and respective elements. So first you should check. So this is the part, you can take it from previous program also. This is the reading of the elements of the matrix. You can take from the previous program. So now what I have to do, if R is equal to C, then only we can continue. Agree with me or not? Number of rows and columns must be same, then only I can find these principal diagonal elements. Assume if I take the different one, can I tell now the principal diagonal elements? No, because columns are 3 and rows are 2. That's why you should check it. If R is equal to C, then only I can proceed. Next, fetch the elements. Okay, how to fetch the elements? The same logic. I is equal to 0, I less than R, I plus plus. For j is equal to 0, j less than c, j plus plus. Now it is very important. Let me assume the same example, that is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So which are the elements I am telling here as a principal diagonal elements? The particular whatever the order of the matrix is having the same whatever the number with respect to rows and column. In the sense, the element should, if it is present in the first row, I need to consider the element of the first column only. In the sense, the row number and column number must be same. Its indices must be same. Then only it is considered as a principal diagonal elements. See here, the row number is 1 and the column number is also 1. Row number is 0, column number is also 0. Such kind of elements I have to fetch. The simple logic, that is, if I is equal to j, agree with me or not? The value, see, we know that this particular represents the I, this particular represents the J. Okay, so this is the first number represents the value of I and the second number represents the J. Both must be equal. That's why I am taking if I is equal to J, I will be printing the elements, that is printf %d / t a of ij. In the sense here just I am printing the particular elements of the matrix which are having the same I value and j value, that is same column number and the row number. Just assume if it is not true, if I is equal to j is not true, just you have to print a space, that is printf /t. Why? Just you are leaving a space there. Just I am telling, for example, see, can I write 14 directly like this? It is treated as only one element. Instead of that 1 4. So after 1 actually if I will be getting 2. But in case of 2, I is not is equal to j. I is 0, j is 1. So leave a space there. See, space is left. Next 3 will come. Again 3 will not get. Space is left. 4 is get printed. For that purpose I have taken this particular thing. So complete the particular loop. Next, if this particular thing is not true, assume if it is not true, what to do? Printf, you can, if you want you can put else, otherwise that is a self understood. If I put a closing, we cannot find principal diagonal elements. That is just, this is about finding the principal diagonal elements. Okay, next we'll discuss another program, that is to find the addition of two matrices. Before writing the program, let me take some values and tell. See, for example, if I assume a matrix of the elements 1 2 3 4, in the sense R is equal to 2 and C is equal to 2, and I'll take another matrix, that is 1 2, another same matrix of the same. Just for tracing purpose it will be easy, that's why I am taking same. There is no mandatory that we have to take the same only. You can take different also. So the first matrix M1 with the order 2 and 2, and the second matrix M2 with the order again 2 and 2 I am assuming. Please all of you understand one thing here. Whenever you are performing addition of the two matrices, their order must be same. That is, the number of the rows of the first matrix should be equal to second matrix, and their number of columns of the first matrix must be is equal to the number of columns of the second matrix. This you should remember. And what is the addition of these two? Very simple. See, first matrix, the first element of the first matrix and the first element of the second matrix, that is 2. That is, element at the indices 0 0 should be added to the elements of the second indices 0 0. Next to 2 plus 2 4, 3 plus 3 6, 4 plus 4 8. This is the addition. Very simple thing. Now I need to produce the same logic. So how to produce the same logic? See, assume in the memory it will be stored like this. That is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. That is 1 2 3 4. You assume this as the array A of ij, and the next one is second one, that is assume it is the array B. You can take a array name as anything, just I am taking as A and B. You can take anything. And what are the elements I am assuming? 1 2 3 4. You can assume different elements also, no problem. So its order. So how to do the addition? See, A of 0 0 must be added to B of 0 0. Okay, that is nothing but the resultant matrix, that is C of ij. So that is 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 2 4, 3 plus 3 6, 4 plus 4 8. That is C of ij. I think logic is very simple here. Then what is the meaning of it? That is nothing but C of ij is equal to A of ij plus B of ij. So we got a formula now, that is C of ij is equal to A of ij plus B of ij. Yes or no? Very simple. Okay, now let me write the program. Okay, before writing program, try to build the logic. What to do? Very simple. Read the order of the matrix A, read the order of the matrix B, and compare the order of the matrix is equivalent with respect to both the matrix A and B. If they are equal, then only you proceed for the addition. So let me write now. Hash include everything, just you assume. How many arrays I should declare now? Okay, just think. Before writing, you have to come to a decision. Madam has to declare these many number of arrays. Like that you have to think. So how many arrays are required? Obviously, I require some 3 arrays. Agree with me or not? Definitely, because 2 are the input arrays and 1 more is the one which is holding the resultant. That is the addition. See here, I am assuming C as the resultant matrix. And next to that, I need some control variable, that is ij. Okay, and I need to have the particular rows and columns of the first and second matrix. So I will be taking R1 comma C1 for the first matrix, R2 comma C2 for the second matrix. These are the different variables which are required for writing this particular program. So the first thing is I should ask the user enter the order of first matrix. Enter the order of first matrix. That is nothing but %d ampersand R1 comma ampersand C1. Before reading the elements of the first matrix, it is better to read the order of the second matrix, because if they are equal, then only we will be proceeding. That's why my suggestion is you read the elements once they are equal. Okay, that's why what I will be doing, I will be asking the user to enter the order of the second matrix. You can read first, not a problem. The elements of the first matrix can be read before reading the order of the second matrix. But the thing is simply the particular processor cycles will be wasted if they don't match. That's why a same program can be written in n number of ways, but the efficient program is nothing but it should go for a less processor and memory cycle. Yes, now I got the order of the first matrix and the order of the second matrix. Now you compare, that is if R1 is equal to R2 and C1 is equal to C2. In the sense here I am comparing whether the number of rows of the first matrix are equal to second matrix and the number of columns of the first matrix are equal to second matrix. Yes, if it is true, if both are true, in my example both are true, because R1 is equal to 2, R2 is equal to 2, C1 is equal to 2 and C2 is equal to 2. So both are true. As both are true, I will be going inside. So once I go inside, what I should do, I should ask the user to enter the elements of the first matrix. That's why enter elements of first matrix. See, already we people have understood the reading of the elements of the matrix. Very simple. How to do that? I should go for a nested for loop. Already these all things I have explained. I less than R1. Why I am taking R1 here? Because I have two variables for representing the rows of matrix 1 and matrix 2. For matrix 1 I have R1. Next, for J is equal to 0, J less than C1. J plus plus. What to do? Scanf %d. Tell me what I have to write. What I am reading now? The elements of the first matrix. That's why I take A of ij. All of you understood why I have taken this? So complete. Yes, successfully I read the elements of the first matrix. Next I need to read the elements of the second matrix. That is enter elements of second matrix. Okay. So what to do for that? Again, for I is equal to 0, what I have to take now? R2. Because R2 represents the number of rows of the second matrix. J is equal to 0. J less than C2. J plus plus. Okay. And next to that is what? Same thing. Scanf %d ampersand B of. See, successfully we read elements of the first matrix and elements of the second matrix. Try to understand practically. Don't remember that something like whenever I am reading a matrix of the first element, I should take it as R1 and C1 and R2 and C2 for certain. Don't remember like that. It is a common sense. I read the order as R1 and C1. That's why while reading the elements of the first matrix, I took the control variable condition as I less than R1 and J less than C1. It is same like reading the elements, matrix elements like a previous examples. The only change here is I took the different variables as R1 and C1. Next, while reading the elements of the second matrix, also the same thing. Okay, so always we need to read in a row major order. Then the logic will be very simple. That's why we did in a row major order. So next thing is very important job is successfully I have got, by reading successfully I have got elements of the first matrix and the elements of the second matrix. In the sense continuously it will be stored in the memory as 1, 2, 3, 4 with a particular like a array element dimensional as 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1 and the same thing for B also. So the next thing I have to understand is just I have declared C. Till now I have declared just C, in the sense it was only this much. That is C of ij is only this much. Now my job is to get the values for these whatever the indices. Then how to get the values for these indices? Already I have told you. Okay, we know that the element of the first matrix is 1, 2, 3, 4 and the second matrix is 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely I should get the resultant matrix as 2, 4, 6, 8. How to do that? Just in the beginning of the program itself I have told you. Add the particular like a element of the first matrix with the first element of the second matrix, second element of the first matrix with the second element of the second matrix and so on. So what to do for that? Simple thing. See, we people have elaborated with one particular like a formula. C of ij is equal to A of ij plus B of ij. So what I am doing here? The C of ij is nothing but assume that the value of I is 0 and j is 0. In the sense, in this place I am trying to put the value of A of ij and B of ij with a I and j as 0. Definitely I can fetch this element 1 and 1. So let me write the same thing for here also. That is for I is equal to 0, I less than R1, I plus plus. Next to that is for j is equal to 0, j less than C1, j plus plus. Next to that, what to do? C of ij is equal to A of ij plus B of ij. See, just the same thing I am correlating here. Try to understand. Complete the particular nested for loop. How it works? Let me trace now. I is 0. 0 is less than 2. Yes, it is true. It will come inside. J is 0. 0 is less than 2 because the order of the matrix, either of the matrix is 2. That's why 2 both the side R1 and C1. Both are true. So A of 0, 0 plus B of 0, 0 takes place and assigned to C of 0, 0. That is nothing but 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. In the sense, this particular element will be fetched now. That is, I will be getting 2 here. j is incremented, it will become 1. 1 less than 2, true or false? As it is true. As it is true, again it will come inside. Next, this is the second iteration. A of 0, 1 plus B of 0, 1. In the sense, what is A of 0, 1? A of 0, 1 is 2. What is B of 0, 1? It is also 2. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. That is stored as C of 0, 1. Try to understand. J plus plus, it will become 2. 2 less than 2, false. Definitely it should go for the increment of the outer for loop, that is I plus plus 1. 1 less than 2, yes it is true. As it is true, it will come inside. As already I have told you many times, for every new value of a outer for loop, all the values of a inner for loop executes. What are all the values? 0 and 1. Again freshly it start. Okay, that is 0 less than 2, true or false? As it is true. So C of 1, 0 is equal to A of 1, 0 plus B of 1, 0. That is, what is there in A of 1, 0? 3. What is there in B of 1, 0? 3. 3 plus 3, that is 6. Yes, successfully 6 is stored here. Previously it was 4. Okay, next. J value is incremented, it will become 1. So what it will be? C of 1, 1 is equal to A of 1, 1 plus B of 1, 1. So what is there in A of 1, 1 with respect to our example 4? What is B of 1, 1? It is 4. That is equal to 8. So 8 is stored here. Successfully I have stored all the elements of the resultant matrix. So now the important thing is I have to display this resultant matrix. Yes or no? So how to display the resultant matrix? Already successfully many times we people have read a part of that particular display, that is for I is equal to 0, I less than R1, I plus plus. For J is equal to 0, J less than C1, J plus plus. How to print? Very simple. Printf. Print in a particular matrix format. I have told you in the previous example itself how to print in the matrix format. This is inner for loop should have a printf statement with a particular /t. Once the inner for loop become false, I should have a /n. Why? Because I should go for a new row. So this is the printing of the resultant matrix. One improvement I will tell you. Before printing the resultant matrix, my suggestion is to print the original matrix A and B. In the sense, your output will be systematic. How it will be systematic? Just try to understand. See, if I take in that order, first matrix will be displayed as 1, 2, 3, 4. Give the heading as first matrix. Before printing the resultant matrix, take it as a printf. The first matrix is printf. The first matrix is what you have to write later here. For I is equal to 0, I less than R1, I plus plus. Next again for J is equal to 0, J less than C1, J plus plus. Printf percentage D /T double quote A of Ij, complete the brace of inner for loop. Printf /n. Yes or no? In the same way it is for second matrix. So second matrix will display. The second matrix is. See, these all things actually I should not tell. This is the basic. Already I have told you this. Next are the resultant matrices. Already we have written a code for writing the resultant matrix. This is the code for displaying the resultant matrix. I hope all of you people understood matrix addition. So we have discussed how to find the addition of the matrix elements, multiplication of the matrix element, single matrix. Please try to understand. Transpose of a matrix, diagonal elements of the matrix. Now after this we took an example on two matrices, that is the addition of the two matrices. The next big challenge is how to perform the multiplication of two matrices. Actually the same logic follows. Reading the elements of the first matrix, reading the element of the second matrix. The now change here is, instead of addition we have to perform multiplication. So you try on your side. Later I will be uploading the video of matrix multiplication. Just I am giving a time for the students to do on their own. Later you can compare your implemented program with the video we will be updating later. I hope all of the students have understood all the programs on a matrix, in the sense all the programs on two-dimensional array. Thank you.